Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. I think it's all on, but it is now.
Hello, hola, bonjour, good evening, afternoon or morning, depending on when you're listening. Welcome to Some People Are on the Pitch, Season 2, Episode 3, the magic number, tres for our Spanish listeners. I am your host, Bobby Hurst. I'm very well, thank you for asking, and we are back, me and my team of Fandits, thank you Sam, to bring you some thoughts, opinion, banter, and hopefully, and I stress hopefully, a few laughs. But before we crack on, I've got a bit of housekeeping to get through. It won't take long, I promise. But I'm very pleased to announce that we are now available as a downloadable podcast. Yes, we've gone portable, boys.
Woo! Yeah.
All you have to do is go to iTunes, search Some People Are on the Pitch, find, one click, download, free of charge, boom. You can take us on the move. You could even go listen to us on your local football pitch if you really want. But take a coat, because it's getting cold. A coat. Right, enough housekeeping. I hate housekeeping. Ask anybody. Let's meet the panel. So, without further ado, I go to centre-back, and our resident l'enfant terrible, straight out of a Joe Orton play, angrier than a load of Geordie fans in a tornado, more northern than killing your brother's kestrel. He's hotter than a lunchtime kickoff in Manaus. It's Mario Samatelli, Sam Connolly.
Hello.
Yeah. How's it going, Sam? You alright?
Very well, Bobster.
Lovely. Let's crack on. Next, I move to the left wing, and our resident socialist. I say resident in the loosest terms, because he's actually making his first start of the season. In the podcast gossip columns this morning, it says, like Alan Pardew, he has a podcast to save his job. I possibly couldn't comment. Never mind. What can I tell you, though? He is more to the left than everything Beyonce owns in a box. It's producer Pain Dog. Hello. In from the cold. In from the cold. Up front, it's our resident Sergio Aguero. Star striker, grey hair, always injured. I'm happy to report, in spite of this, he's still the best looking man in the room. It's Barry, Bond, James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. Yes. 3 out of 3.
Thanks, Bob.
Well, what weekend, boys? Good weekend of Premier League football. Last week I sounded the career renaissance alarm for Stuart Downing. This week, it won't stop going off. Gerrard, Jagielka, Lampard, Lescott, for Christ's sake, even Tony Hibbert played. So, with that in mind, I wanted to ask you boys, after Steven Gerrard's wonder free kick, are we a bit quick to criticise English players over 30? Saying they're washed up and stuff. Were the basis in them comments that he made, Barry? What do you think?
For me, no, I sort of understand where he's coming from, because English players are judged more after they're 30. But I think, I don't think there's any need for it, really, is there? Really? Because like, as long as they're still doing the business.
Yeah, well, but he did have a bad World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah, that's true. There were many shining lights. Sam?
But the only thing against that is that in Italy, that he was, talking about Pirlo and all the rest of them.
Yeah,
it's a different league. You're talking in the Premier League. You're not. If they want to carry on, I think Gerrard would do fantastically well in the Italian league.
Serie A, where players like Pirlo and Cambiasso, Buffon are held in a bit higher regard, Penny.
Well, you haven't got people closing in on you.
And Ashley Cole,
who's slower, so gone to Italy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Penny? Was it harsh or merited the criticism of Gerrard and other English players? Jagielka came in for a bit of stick.
On an individual level with Gerrard, I think he's dropped into this defensive role and he does a job and he does pop up and save Liverpool still every now and then, and that's vital.
As he did on Saturday.
Well,
he put them in the lead, to be fair.
But he's also a shadow of his former self. He's not as good, and that's understandable. He's older, but I also think there's better players in that position as well. And I think Liverpool could easily go out and get a better player than Gerrard in that position.
Maybe. So Pain Dog thinks it's time for Gerrard to hang up his cap. But we'll stay with the Merseyside derby and that goal pie. There was plenty of goal pie to be had at the weekend. There was a screamer from Jagielka, a bit of Tekkers from Pella, and a bit more Tekkers from Charlie Austin. So, starting with Sam. Sam, what do you prefer to score when you score a goal? Do you prefer a blaster or just some nice Tekkers? Whose goal did you think were best? Answer them both.
Answer them both. Well, you know I like to score goals, Bobby.
I know you love to score goals, Sam.
Popping them in.
Who doesn't?
I think, out of those three this week, I've got to say Jagielka's just for some sheer Tekkers, power. He had it all.
He'll never hit a better shot ever.
Exactly.
Again.
Don't get me wrong. It's lovely to see Austin and Pele doing the business like they did. Pele's I thought was better than Austin. They were both. It was just seamless, But I think for me, Jagielka.
But Pain Dog, did you think them first touches, especially Austin's, did you think he meant it for it to go like that, or do you think he dealt with it once?
I think Austin's was very much, here we go, it's in the air, now it's over my shot, alright, now it's in the net. And that's incredibly difficult to do, and I'm not understating his ability to score that goal, because it was brilliant. But I think Pellers was a bit more controlled, and a bit more... It sort of had a bit more composure about it.
So Austin didn't have a clue what he was doing.
In a roundabout way, I think Jagielka's. To score a pile driver late in a derby for your team, it's the fans love it, everyone loves it. But I'd like to give an honourable mention this time as well that I think's got a bit of an overlook is Chelsea's goal, which was a pretty nice little team goal. A couple of back heels, Hazard,
that was great, that one.
And then through, and I think it was Costa who finished it off.
Yeah, there's like three little
if
back
that had
heels
been Arsenal, all the pundits would have been like,
the three
lovely Arsenal play and passing it. And
so you're claiming Chelsea aren't getting enough credit for their goal?
I thought it was a brilliant goal. I watched it last night. I was like, why,
Fair enough. A mention for Costa's goal, but... Barry, just quickly to wrap up, blasters or Tekkers, you're a star striker.
Yeah, I prefer the Tekkers, but everything that was around the Jagielka goal, that is what you dream at. When you're a little kid playing in the garden, any Everton or Liverpool fans, that's what you commentate over yourself. Brosnan from 35 yards, he's been in the top corner, he's stopping time!
I think I've only done it once, and it was on a tiny pitch when I was like 15. And it wasn't a real match either.
Well, probably Jagielka's only done it once on Saturday. Right, let's move on then. Let's keep on derbies and go to the Arsenal versus Spurs. Barry, Spurs this week a bit better for you. I thought they sort of did a Chelsea last week at City and parked the bus a bit, but contained Arsenal well. I wanted to ask you about Kabul being captain. Mm-hmm. It's looking like a bit of a masterstroke now. He had a man of the match performance almost.
Yeah, well, I think there was a few questions raised beforehand because I think there's good competition for places and Spurs centre back because none of them ever seem to perform that well. But
it's true. It's a revolving door.
Yeah. But I think apparently he's a bit of a personality in the changing room. He's got a bit of a presence about him. So
he looks mean.
He looks mean.
Looks the part.
And if he keeps putting in performances like he did against Arsenal, then I'm more for it.
And what about worst signing of the last season, Chadley?
Chadley
keeps going, keeps scoring.
Up, didn't he? But I just think the whole setup that Spurs had. I'm pleased because last year we just fell apart against all the top four teams. We just fell apart. We had a bit of naivety in that we just wanted to go in and play our own game, and you can't do that against the top four. You see against Chelsea, against City last week.
You'll get
you have to change and adopt your tactics to who you're playing, and I think it's a bit of arrogance if you're going to go to Arsenal and just think you're going to play them off the park. That's never going to happen. You need to go there and you need to soak up the pressure. And then we were hitting them on the counter. And I'm glad that Pochettino, that he's got his own eye-catching style and that he's willing to adapt and change his tactics.
So you were happy with a 1-1?
Oh, yeah, more than
lovely. It was Oxlade-Chamberlain who got the equaliser for Arsenal at the weekend. Back in the side now. There's a few injuries for Arsenal. But do you think Wenger gets enough credit? He's got an English spine of players. He's got Gibbs, Wilshere, the Ox, Chambers, Walcott to come back. Does Wenger get enough credit as being a Frenchman and someone who stereotypically you'd say brought in a lot of French players? Should we give him more credit for having an English core?
I think he gets a lot of credit. Not openly credit because they're not that good.
They're not that good yet.
Everyone's like, well done, but get some better one. But that's all we've got to offer. I do admire him for that. I've always admired Wenger for bringing through the young talent. And hopefully Man City will do it one day themselves.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Painey, any thoughts on that?
I thought it was a good game to watch. It was entertaining. I thought the stark contrast in Tottenham this year compared to the Tim Sherwood Tottenham. Surprisingly, who would have thought it? Tim Sherwood Tottenham seemed to lack order, a bit all over the place. Pochettino's got them in order. They were solid, fairly solid defensively. I think they lack a striker. I think they definitely lack a striker. You know, they had all the, you know, they've got great movement and work in the midfield. You know, with Chadley, who's come into his own this season. I think Eric Lamella's been playing a lot better.
Well, they had a dodgy clearance though for the Arsenal goal.
But he's not a defender, is he? He's not a defender.
I know what you mean.
But I think that's going to be my pessimistic Tottenham hat on again. Is that will be our downfall this season? I think
not having a striker.
I think the top four is up for grabs now. Fourth places with Liverpool not having a good start. United still a bit cagey. I think it might be a 3 or 4 horse race between us and Everton. But I think our lack of a striker is going to be something that's going to hold us back this season.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the top four in a minute. I just wanted to ask you, because last week, Sam, you were saying it was quiet at the Emirates. And did anyone notice when Flamini got tackled in possession, not enough people for me shouted "man on" from the Emirates? Did anyone watch back and see that?
Not enough.
Yeah.
I thought you were being sarcastic when you said that.
No, honestly, the shout for me of "man on" wasn't loud enough for Flamini. I thought it could have been louder. But
I was watching it at a pub, so I would,
never mind. Watch out for it on the highlights reel.
One point I'd like to say is I thought Arsenal played, their link-in play was, as it often is, was really well. And I thought Danny Welbeck had some lovely touches going around the pitch,
Was it an assist then? Did he get an assist for
it's just a shame the touch that he needed the most was lacking.
Oh, bless him. I know. No, I thought he played well.
Yeah, he started all right. Welbeck could do with finishing.
Not a natural finisher, is he?
Yeah, everyone
just panicked when the ball came over. See how calm the Ox was.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the top four, because Southampton have won again, and now I believe they're 5 points.
Second, aren't
Yeah, they're second at the minute on 13. Do we think they can go all year and finish in the top four? Is that unrealistic? Europa League places? God, it's had that many names, the UEFA. You're like, which one is it? But do you think they can impact the top four, have a say? Southampton?
They'll struggle through the whole year. It'd be like the Newcastle, I reckon. The old,
they'll be there, you know what I mean? They'll have a go.
They've got a quality team, so I don't see why they can't be up there.
Pain Dog, can you see the Saints marching in?
No, not a chance. Not a chance. They've got a good team. They've clearly got in a good manager, it seems, and they're going well and they've started well, but they've not got the squad to compete all season at that level.
Yeah. So
if that Pele gets injured, then
maybe in bother.
So
we don't think they'll make the top four. Never mind. Sorry, Southampton, but you're having a good year. I'm not sure you'll really care that you can't make the top four. You might still make it. Who knows? Anyway, where should we go next? I think to City and that man Mangala. Last week we talked about him and he played like Tong Po from Kickboxer. This week he played like Tinky Winky. Didn't he, Sam? He had a shocker. He had a shocker. An own goal and a penalty given away.
It's his second game in the Premier League. We'll let him off.
Can you think, boys, of a better debut followed by a worse game? You know what I mean? A good game, bad game sort of scenario.
I can think. The only thing I can think of similar is when someone's given me such high hopes. Was when was it Adebayor last year at Arsenal away? He scored 3 minutes in and then sent off after about 10 minutes.
Well, I can think of Arshavin, and that's probably the only
Arshavin had one good game, then the rest of his Arsenal career
against Liverpool.
Yeah, it was terrible. Well, Mangala, he had a stinker.
He did,
but
you
won. A win's a win away, which is good. Do you think Zeko gets enough credit? Scores crucial goals, both footed, good in the air. Aguero always seems to get more of the cream of the plaudits, or do you think Zeko gets enough credit? I think he's
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that like a couple of seasons ago, but I think last year he came into his own and he had to, injuries of Aguero out and Jovetic out, he had to, bring in the goals, which he did. And I think a lot of people, I know as a City fan, Zeko's worshipped up there, so maybe not around the rest of the football circuit, but every club wanted him. Bayern Munich wanted him. I think Real Madrid looking at him. I don't know, but
I'm sure he was
like
battered
to-
around when he
Yeah,
was
exactly,
at
you know.
Wolfsburg.
Yeah, like you said, he looks like he sort of struggled under Mancini for a bit, but I think Pellegrini
Yeah.
holds him in high regard. So
Certainly. His
Yeah.
finishing is just. I mean, he used to have about 30 shots, and
That was his one criticism you'd say before is he had a lot of chances and missed a lot.
But you know, we've created a lot of chances. So.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think when you're comparing him and Aguero's clinical. If you're going to ask defenders who they would rather not face, it'll be Aguero.
Just look at his goal this week.
Exactly.
It's just sort of dropped, and it's like, you know, hard finish, fairly on an angle, and it's just he just makes it look easy.
You can't argue with the stats, obviously. So Aguero, over.
It's fair to say they're both pretty handy players. Speaking of handy players, Lampard, 4 goals in a week. Would you like him to stay at City for the rest of the season? Do you think he will?
I don't see why not, since we own the club that he's gone to.
Yeah, it's not going to be too hard, that one, is it?
It was weird them coming out and saying, yeah, but we're going to hold on to him. Like, yeah, but don't. We own you, and that surely we if we want. I don't know. Obviously, it'd be a bit of a weird. But if he's going to bang him in and carry on, I don't think Chelsea should have let him go, to be honest with you.
Well,
Especially to one of the rivals. I mean, he won't play every game, and it will just be handy for the rest of the competitions that we're in. He
gets you a goal when
he's
you
used
really
to the
need
Champions League. He can play in all the League Cup. He can play in. So I don't see
Steven
why.
Gerrard
But
should be used.
Yeah.
exactly.
Maybe you could argue that Rodgers uses Gerrard a bit too much, but
Yeah,
Hull.
what's the it's interesting to see what the situation is with Lampard in New York City.
Yeah,
Like,
New
they
York.
own him, but can he go over? If City, if he keeps playing like he is, which I don't see why not. But it's what he's done year in year out.
Yeah,
If he's sparingly used at City, he's going to be class.
things might get a little murky in the old.
Financial fair play.
Yeah. We'll see. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Juice playing dog. Hull haven't won since the first day of the season. I like Hull because Steve Bruce, English manager, brings in loads of English players. Do we think they'll be all right, paying dog? Do you think they'll?
I think they'll be all right. I think Steve Bruce could come under a bit of pressure because he's had a bit of money to spend. He's got quite a few signings in at the back end. He got that Hernandez in. He's turned out to start scoring goals. He's hit the ground running. It's good. He's brought in Ben Arthur, who we've not yet really.
Still a bit
seen.
fat, Ben Arthur,
Yeah,
for me.
So, but he did spend a fair bit of cash over the summer, and they're going to expect improvement.
Yeah. He had an FA Cup. They had a good league
And then
year
a
last
good year
year.
last
so.
year, so it's difficult to improve on that.
I think they've given away the most leads in the Premier League so far, so maybe sorting that out should be their priority. But I do hope Hull stay up because, like I say, I like a team full of English players.
Yeah.
Speaking of English players, let's talk about the England captain, Rune Pig. Thank you for producer Payne Dog for that little pun there. So, Wayne, runepig.com. Was it a red card, Baz?
Yeah, definitely a card. But you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to do a little tactical foul, just trying to chip him up. But he's just completely messed it up. So you can see he tried to just do a little clip on the back of his heels, send down and over, take the yellow card, and get all the defence behind him. But I don't know what he's doing. How does he like?
He doesn't seem
goes
to
for his
do
hip.
that. No, it
Just
doesn't.
goes for his hip.
He doesn't go to trip him up. If you went to trip him up, you'd go for. He actually goes for a right or white. Why didn't he just go? If he's doing a professional foul, just do a standard slide and then trip
Yeah,
him
but I
up.
think that's what he's done. Like,
This
fouled him
is
a
like
bit.
to kick him in
makes
the-
no sense.
I
Why
don't
you try and karate chop him down?
Come on, lads. When you're growing up and you do that thing where you trip your mates up from behind and you're walking behind him and you knock their foot, that's all he had to do.
Yeah.
And
We've
he's
all done that.
he's given a good swing at that.
But do you buy into this that the pressure of being captain's getting to him? He rollicked the players for the third goal, for Cambiaso's goal, I think, against
The fourth
Leicester.
one, yeah.
Is the pressure getting to him? Red card the week after?
No, I was thinking about this earlier, and it was just like, if you said that about every captain, if you look back over the years, like the Vieiras, the Keanes, it was just because it's Rooney. When he gets sent off and does something rash, it's just one of them things that happens.
Yeah. And it's his first sending off in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I think I'm going to let him off a little bit. I mean, he is. I mean, I know they were saying he's 4 behind the ball, but after you got out in your mind as a captain, you're going. Last week, we were 3-1 up, and then we're going to get we get done
got
5-3. He's gone right. I'm going to take him down. And he didn't expect a red card. He just expected the yellow. He just booted him for some stupid reason.
I mean, Barry's right. When you think about all of this furore over it, and about the red card, and is he losing his head? And then you look back and you think about Keane and Vieira, and I have looked back at the sort of the records.
He's got some stats.
And so Vieira got a red every 38 games in the Premier League, and that was 8 total red cards in 307 appearances. He was captain. Vidic, 1 in 34.
Vidic, that was only against Liverpool, though, wasn't it? He only got
6 in 201. Keane, 1 in 52, and that was 7 out of 366 appearances. You know, so like Rooney, he's won every 126.
So he's nothing special, basically. You're nothing special, Wayne.
Do
Don't start thinking you're all aggressive.
The highest is.
Go on.
Camel.
Anyone guess?
Carragher.
No.
Savage.
John Hartson. In his 156 games in the Premier League, he ripped it up. 6 red cards, 1 every 26 games.
Nice.
How many has Richard done? He must be up there.
I don't know. I haven't got.
You can't just throw that out there.
Balotelli's well on the way as well. He's 1 in 18 currently.
Oh,
Which is 3 every 50.
Mario.
3 in 54. And that was at the start of the season.
I was going to do Mario Watch, but I thought, just to go back to Liverpool-Everton quickly, I thought he was showing signs of buying into the Rodgers small clap philosophy.
See, he was, but he scares me because he's one of those kids who go, right, I'm going to be amazing this week. But next week he was just like, no, I did it last week. I'm all right.
Come on, I made an effort last week. I hope it goes all right for Mario. But back to this Man United, West Ham. Paddy McNair, amazing debut, plucked from the academy. Let's see how he gets on next week for the sort of Mangala juxtapose, because I thought he had a good game. Van Gaal said, sorry, we'll probably skip that bit out. We can do a bit of editing there. But Van Gaal, is it refreshing to have a United manager who, last week he refused to blame the referee, said no, we capitulated. Rooney, yeah, it were a red card. Ferguson, do you think he would have said the same? Probably not. He'd have probably laid both refs out to dry. But is it refreshing? This is a bit of a term that's thrown around a lot now. Refreshingly honest. I'm like, how refreshingly honest of him? And it seems to be said a lot. So is it refreshingly honest, or was it just a red card and not the defence's fault? Payne?
He just kicked him.
All right.
I think
Sorted.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not much of a grey area. In there.
Yeah, it's not really a grey area.
Because they were saying later on that they did the same thing, didn't they? But
Even
it wasn't.
Fer-
It was a
even-
trip later on, and he just blatantly kicked him.
I mean, I don't often stand up for Ferguson, but you know, even he would have probably come out and said, "I'll be having words with lad."
Well, he would have towards the end of it. He said he'd have asked for a transfer or something.
yeah.
He's not doing he's not cleaning his boots properly.
Put it in his dad book.
But just a little word on West Ham. Looking very sexy this year, I think. West Ham looking like under Aladici,
Yeah.
a new prospect.
That was
what
the
do we think?
target, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Were they right to stick with Aladici and?
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely. I like the way that West Ham have gone about it, and in the sense that they haven't. What Sam Allardyce did last year was a good job with West Ham. What he had, all the injuries he had, and just West Ham did all right in the end, didn't they? And then
I'd say they did no better or no worse than a usual West Ham Premier League
and I think
season.
it was just their style of play, and then I just think you got to give them a bit of money because they gambled heavily on Carroll. That didn't work out, and now they're giving them a bit more money to sort of spend on the players if you want to play that West Ham way. And then they've given them a chance to go out and prove themselves.
I wish Valencia would have put that away though. That one is skyrocketed.
I wanted to ask you that. Is that the worst part of two? Herrera's back pass and then Valencia's skying. That's got to be the worst moment of quality of Premier League football I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the worst back pass I've seen, and then the worst finish.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking.
It was shocking.
Maybe we'll see that later in Frank the Plank. Sorry,
Al
Payne.
Allardyce and people think that disallowed goal was onside, though. I mean,
Oh no, idea. You can see that it's
You
not.
can
from
see
the
he's
angle that
offside.
it's-
I don't know. It's his head,
Yeah,
which
but
is,
he
to be
was
fair,
offside.
the part where the thinking part of his body is offside.
Yeah, but in but that's the rules these days. In the old days, it wasn't. You had to see a gap.
It was
Now,
daylight, wasn't
he
it?
can
The
still
old
use his head
daylight.
to head the ball in, can't he?
Precisely.
Nolan has really peed me off with that.
Oh, has he?
Well, he's just like coming out and just going, "Oh, the ref has guessed it." It's like, He's got it right.
Guessed right.
Guessed right. So
A lot of the times refs, I mean, that's part of being a ref, and they don't get enough credit for it, is weighing up on the balance of probabilities what actually happened,
Yeah.
because you only get a chance to see it once.
it's fast, and it was tight
And
as well.
yeah, so you've got to think, was it right? Do I think it was? What are the chances of it not being? And weigh up that decision, and that's what a ref does.
Yeah.
So Kevin Nolan, stop being so miserable and chicken dance off. As
Yeah.
far as Barry's concerned,
Yeah.
not us. Don't sue us out. Chelsea. We've still not mentioned Chelsea really. Still a one-horse title race for me, boys. I think this one's going to be over by Christmas. Pain Dog, you've not spoke about this yet. Do you agree?
I think the way Chelsea are going, they're very strong. I think they will fade at points. They did last season, and I think they will again. I don't think it'll be a one-horse race. I think we'll have City up there. But, you know, they're definitely very strong.
Yeah. I think for me, Chelsea just look like the most settled team. Their signings have just...
Well, they got their business done early.
Yeah,
business
they
was
did it
done.
early, and they I mean, you're not really taking any chances with Courtois coming back.
Fabregas,
And Costa. You got when they made him, everyone just went, yeah. It kind of doesn't matter when anyone else signs. You've done the best business.
I think
When
their
you look
start.
at- Just when you look at
sorry,
when you look at City, they're still adjusting at the back with Mangala and sort of like you see that they want to get in Mangala. Di Michele's is doing well, and then you sort of bring in Mangala. He hasn't had the best of games, and so he's sort of a bit of uncertainty at the back.
Cost as much as cost,
And you
didn't
could-
he, Rangel?
You could say that, yeah, all those teams, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, are still trying to find their best team, whereas
Yeah.
Chelsea know theirs. We'll see what it's like when they get some injuries, but they've still got Remy, Shirley. Their bench is fairly formidable, so I'm a little worried about that, but more...
We just
What
need
I'm-
a couple of injuries, that's all we need.
What I'm more worried about is Roy Keane's beard. Now, I'm not just scared of it, I'm mentally and physically scared of it. Is that not the scariest beard you've ever seen? It's angrier than the man himself.
He don't need a beard to... The whole thing about himself is just an absolute... I hate him.
He's scared. He's a scary man, and that is a scary beard.
Had someone describe it as this, it looks like he's dipped his beard in a pint of Guinness.
Yeah,
Yeah. It is an ominous looking beard.
it is.
Speaking of Keane, did you see Mourinho coming over to shake Lambert
Paul
and
Lambert's
Keane's hand? And
Love
Keane
it.
as well. Lambert was like, full time, mate, full time. And Keane just stared straight on,
Yeah.
ignored him. Complete.
Snub.
Really, give him a tap on the shoulder and
Keane
it's
just
not
went-
worth it. I'll speak to you later.
Well, yeah, I'm scared. You should be scared. We all should be scared of Roy Keane's beard because I think it's going to overpower him like Venom from Spider-Man and send him really evil.
No time for Roy Keane. No time. Since-
No more time, because let's move on to Palace and Leicester too. And I wanted to talk about Palace because Warnock, not everyone's cup of tea. Looks like my grandma. Pain Dog, a Leeds, I was going to say a former Leeds fan, Neil Warnock, a former Leeds manager. What's your opinion of Neil Warnock? And can you admit that he's seems to have come in and done a good job?
Well, you know, Pulis had Palace going, didn't he? Had them solid at the back, going well forward. You know, that they were a decent side. So, you know, you've got to think he's able to carry that on. If you're coming in as the Premier League manager that they think can then take the team on and keep them in the Premier League, he's got to do that. And he definitely had the squad to do it. I think... I mean, I'm not his biggest fan. I think he had a tough time at Leeds in general. I mean, anyone working at that club for the past 10 years has had a tough time. So I can't really judge him on that. But yeah, it was all right for Palace. The interesting thing I found is punching.
Yeah, they've built bridges after the punching penalty
they said
controversy.
That they had a chat and he's was it marvellous? I think.
Well, he's done well to keep him playing in that sort of form. There's people calling for punching to get a call up on one wing. On the other wing is my favourite Premier League player, Balassi. I love Balassi. Sometimes he's dribbling and he doesn't even know where he's going. He's like but he's so good. Honestly, power, pace. Who's your favourite sort of random Premier League player, boys?
Well, along the same lines as that, Sean White Phillips used to be the same. I had no idea why he still had the ball in his... It was hitting his shoulders and his knees, and he was still dribbling past me. But what you doing?
Like a basketball freestyler almost, bouncing it with his
Well,
shoulders
yeah.
and stuff.
They end up it back in there.
They're just so in. You're right, Phillips and Balassi. He's just so good to watch. And in terms of you just don't know what he's going to do.
Because they don't know.
Yeah, because he doesn't know. But Pain Dog, have you got a favourite random sort of Premier League player?
I'm just trying to think. I can't think. It's maybe go to Barry first though.
Barry, you're racking the brains, looking at the ceiling.
I think I've a current one at the moment. But the player I used to always have a soft spot for was Clinton Morrison.
All right.
No idea why. He used to pop up with a really random goal, and
Birmingham player.
Yeah, he's played at Birmingham. He played for a couple of clubs. The Irish international.
Irish.
And I don't know. He's had a soft spot for Clinton Morrison. I just like the way he's an industrious forward.
So Balassi.
Sigurdsson, I've got a soft spot for Sigurdsson.
That's because he's in your fantasy football team.
Yeah, but I've still got a soft spot for him as well. I didn't think he got enough game time at Tottenham, and I think that he's proving that at Swansea.
You do affectionately have a nickname for him, don't you?
Siggy.
Siggy. He's always like, Siggy'll do me all right.
Siggy.
So yeah, Warnock's doing a good job. I love Balassi, you love Siggy, you love Clinton Morrison, and you loved Wright Phillips. Where is Sean Wright Phillips?
I don't know, but I met
He's still with QPR.
Is he?
Yeah.
I met him right the other day. I was asking for directions and turned around. I tapped someone on the back and he turned around. Ian Wright.
Did you ask him to come on the show?
Hey? No.
Did he direct you to where you needed to go?
Well, my dad's worked with him.
Yeah,
And I
that
should have
always
said,
sends
my dad's worked
you
with
in
his
the
son,
right
obviously, hadn't he? And I was going to say, and I thought that would be weird, and then just told me where it was.
Oh, mate, you met Ian Wright and you didn't even ask him to come on the show.
I was starstruck.
You're in trouble, mister.
Sorry.
You're in trouble. That might be £1 fine for the
I'll
Sport Relief swear
I'll get
box.
his number.
Yeah. Bump into him again,
Yeah.
randomly. Right, boys.
We're just
doing,
Bobby's
bit of
setting
technical.
us up as normal.
I wanted to finish with the Premier League action. Well, not finish. We'll carry on a little bit longer. But will Burnley ever score again? And should Berahino, but I can't even say his name. I've tried all afternoon. Berahino, West Brom.
Yeah.
Should he get an England call up? Start with Burnley. Will they ever score again?
Yes.
When?
Who knows?
It's been 8 hours 45 minutes since Burnley last scored.
They've only conceded one though.
Yeah. No, it was conceded
before
4
that,
yesterday.
You know what I meant before that game.
9 hours, 10 minutes.
I'm not sure who they've got
We're having
next.
sweepstakes.
But I'm going to say not the next game, the game after. I think Burnley will score again.
All right.
Anyway.
Might be a penalty.
Penalty.
Will they beat the record of low points?
Maybe we should put all this on one bet.
Yeah, we'll put on a mega Burnley accumulator. Right, it's that time of the show where I turn and we start a bit of theme music. It's now time for the Emmy Award, Oscar Award, Brit Award, Radio Times Award, Mobile Award winning Sam's Things! Sam's Things! Sam's Things!
Mate, loves this one.
Sam's Things! What do you think to the Kurt Angle music, Pain Dog?
It's better than my old music, isn't it?
It's better than the old stuff.
Gets you in the mood.
Gets you in the mood for Sam's Things. Because Sam Connolly, you are a simple man with simple needs.
All right.
What is getting on your wick this week?
First off, short but sweet. First off, Chadley, why is he getting booked for doing that around his ear? Why?
Despicable.
Totally on board with this one.
Totally on board.
What is wrong with the referee for that? I've seen players do that every single week.
You only
I've
get
seen
booked
Adebayor run
doing all
across.
this.
I've really seen Adebayor run across. Did he even get booked for that?
Yeah, he definitely
That's
got
some
booked for
homework.
that.
Did he
Yeah.
get booked for the 90
Are you sure
yard
he got
run?
booked?
Yeah.
100%.
But if that's only a
Alright,
booking,
That's only a booking.
how
Fair
can
enough.
Chadley...
But I've seen that hundreds of times. What? Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
It's a-
I was like, think of the abuse those Spurs players get at that stadium, and for them to score, that is the whole joy of it. The fans just go, "Oh God, he's going to do something to us now."
First
Just
you
a little
weren't
cut
allowed
down
to take
here.
your top off.
A cut
Now
down-
you're not allowed to cup your ear.
mental.
Soon you won't be able to
Absolute
celebrate, and we'll
There's-
all be doing a Frank Lampard against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, soon we'll all just be drones. Emotionless drones, FA.
Yeah.
So,
FA.
yeah, you've got us all riled there.
Yeah, thank you.
What's
So-
next, Sam, in Sam's Things? Good point.
Give it to us.
Come on, Sam.
Angry now.
Samba, Christopher Samba, playing for, what's his team? He's playing for Dynamo
Dynamo
Moscow. He's just got, do you know this? Yeah.
Fine
He's just got
for-
2-match ban for, yes, he stuck his fingers up at people giving him racist abuse. And not only 2 years ago did he get a banana thrown at him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously, what he should be, but no, I don't. They're giving him racist.
Stop being racist,
Stop being
basically.
racist.
The Russian FA backwards.
Yeah.
Careful, because we don't want to lick the Yanko.
The KGB
We don't want the
listen.
KGB after us. Putin knows
Sure.
everything.
They just need to sort stuff out over there. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
racism. It's 2014. It is 2014, isn't it? Yes. Just.
I don't understand as a player why you would go over there. I mean, obviously the money is massive, but
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're trying to change things, but I don't think
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
do need to
anything.
change
Right. There's a whole
Attitudes and stuff.
Yeah.
There's only one way you can do it, I suppose, and that is to face it out. Really, I'm sure. Well, fair play to Samba. I'm sure he'll have had a lot of support from the footballing world. You'd hope so.
Go back to the Tottenham game again as well. There was the goal line technology thing.
Right.
Did you see that? Actually, so they put the first, it says no goal, but it was in front of the line. When I wasn't thinking about that one. I was thinking when it went behind the line, because it was like on the line-ish behind the line. Do you know what I mean?
I think they show you the ball at its furthest back. I don't think
That wasn't it. It's furthest back though, because you play the thing. It's just that it's the first one.
I felt
it was
like
like at the World Cup.
You know when they show you it and then they stop and they go up. That's not. They're not showing
No,
you
no,
where that
it
is
had
now.
the first contact. When it had the first contact when Lloris
Lloris
saved
saved
it, but then it rolled back a bit more, and that was the point where I was like, "Did that go over?" I don't think it did go over,
Yeah.
but that's the point that didn't show. So
I
I'm
know.
thinking it's conspiracy, but it's like, World Cup. Did it actually go over? And they're not showing it, and they're going, "Oh no, it went over. Oh, it's not showing
Well,
that bit."
because I kind of thought that a little bit. Because when I first saw it, and then I saw the replay, I was like, I thought the same. I was like, I'm sure it went further back than that.
Exactly.
Then there was no other replays.
No.
Other than
Exactly.
the Hawkeye technology.
anything
So I was
that I
really, I was just
found-
like, is that a kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. I think they're just like, I think so. Conspiracy FA, we want your email. We'll
As we
just
didn't
tell
talk
us we
about
want-
it though. What a save!
Oh yeah, from Lloris, great.
It was a great
save. Hugo, slow Lloris, nothing but slow.
I'll keep it. Last point, Steve Bruce. Why?
Just why?
Why
Just
Steve
why?
Bruce?
He just annoyed me. He just annoys me. He's annoying.
Is
man.
that because
Probably was giving him
possibly?
props earlier.
Yeah,
I
where
don't-
were you
yeah,
then?
but it's just
He's got a bit
annoying.
of
Even
he's
when
got a bit one of these faces that looks like blue tack. You can just mold.
Mould.
when he's talking,
Looks like
he
Morph.
used to love Alex Ferguson.
Still does probably.
Anyway, Sam's things.
That's
John,
the end
thank
of
you.
Sam's things.
Nice.
Yeah, Sam's things, Sam's things.
Thank you.
Right, now it's that time for that part of the show. Frank the Plank.
Whoa.
Here he comes, Frank the Plank.
Seamless.
So it's time to decide who's going to join Naismith for his wonder miss, Messi for missing 11 career penalties last week, and the unplankable Wilfred Boney, and now the unplankable Mangala. I'm not going to let you mention Mangala this week. So
Unplankable.
he's unplankable. He's joined the unplankables. Mangala, him and Boney for Boney's foul last week where he was... It's that part of the show where my panellists each argue who is the Frank of the Plank of this week's Premier League or footballing world. We'll start with Sam. Who's your Frank the Plank nomination?
I had a few. I was going to go for Mangala, but obviously you've denied
I've
me.
vetoed Mangala. No Mangala
No
plank day.
Mangala.
He's unplankable.
So I will go with Welbeck
Welbeck
for his little miss,
for his
for his dummy,
kick.
inverted commas, you didn't hear me say. But only because I want to see Welbeck do well, and I have faith in Frank the Plank,
Elevating him
elevation
to goals next week. Messi scored his 400th career goal this weekend after getting Frank the Plank
Exactly.
last weekend.
Exactly.
So
It's
it's
tried
still
and tested
working.
method.
Di Michaelis.
And it was so
Last
funny.
season.
I think the pub that I was watching it, I think every Arsenal fan laughed as well at the same point, and then cheered up.
Yeah, just because they just scored as
Yeah,
well.
obviously.
That will
They
have.
wouldn't have laughed if
Very
Oxlade
true.
came
Yeah,
in and
Fox
missed
smashed
as well,
it.
yeah.
And he nearly missed as well. He wasn't
Nah,
far
just
off.
hit the roof.
So Welbeck's wonder air kick.
Wonder dummy.
Wonder dummy. We'll go with that. Barry.
Michael Oliver.
Michael Oliver.
The referee who booked Chadley
Ooh.
for the celebration. So when you brought it up, you've already brought it up. It's just like when a player scores a goal, it's an act of passion. You want to see that in football, and for him to book him for a couple of his ears to the Arsenal fans when he was definitely getting a load of abuse off them, every Spurs fan was. that's the best part, is that the players can give something back, and you want to have that little bit of banter still in the stadium. You don't just want 11 robots running about on the field.
You've got the eyes for Michael Oliver this week, Barry.
Yeah.
And James Bond. Hang on.
Going for Mike Ashley.
Mike Ashley.
Nice.
Is this
Constant play.
Like David Cameron the week before him, overheard telling people things that he shouldn't be telling them, except for this time it wasn't quite as sexual about the Queen.
purred,
Purring
didn't
down the line, that's just
he?
weird.
Queen purred.
Yeah,
when
Mike-
he did say that, sorry to go off the football, but I go like, what? David.
There's something inherently wrong about thinking about the Queen purring.
Who else has he made
Just thinking
purr?
of the cat in Inspector Gadget.
But it's Mike Ashley, probably drunk, outside a pub, allegedly.
Allegedly, probably drunk. Allegedly,
Running his
probably
mouth,
outside a pub.
Running his mouth about
Allegedly, probably
Alan
running his mouth.
Pardew, about him, and it's just stupid, and it reminded me of Keane, the former Blackburn manager.
Steve Keane saying we were going to win the League Cup and top half of it. Yeah, that
And I
didn't
just
work out for him,
You know
did
what? Just keep your mouth shut, mate.
it? Where is Steve Keane? Maybe he's in a cell with
I think
Sean Wright
Venky sold
Phillips.
him, didn't they? as like chicken meat.
He's in pie.
He's in a pub with David Moyes, I think.
Yeah.
Counting their money.
So Mike Ashley,
Yeah.
we'll see how much of a plank he is in about.
Oh, well, we all know he's going to fire him.
Yeah, just
But
a
you
matter of when.
You know, it's a matter of etiquette and business, how you conduct a business.
Lovely. Yeah.
And also he's going to have to attract a new manager, and who's going to want to come and talk to him on the basis of that?
Very true.
Very true.
But a lot of managers will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So-
David Moyes.
So I've got to decide. So we've got Welbeck's wonder assist miss dummy thing, Michael Oliver for booking Chadley for cupping his ear, Mike Ashley. It's easy this week, boys. I'm afraid to say I've got to give it to Michael Oliver just because we got so irate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all I made. Michael.
Michael Oliver,
Out of it.
you're Frank the Plank. What will you do next week? I dare you to do something else. I dare you.
Dropping up your game.
Right, boys. Any other business? Anything else to say, Sam?
No, I'm alright, thanks.
Pain Dog, have you got anything else to say?
No.
Barry, have you got anything else to say?
I think you said it all, Bobby.
I think I've said it all too. So, say bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Say bye, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
Say bye, Pain Dog.
Bad pen dog.
He said it as well. Hey, it's a new year. All right, thank you for listening. Downloaders. There'll be a Twitter. No one's listening by this point anyway. We've done our research. If you made it to end, there's a bonus. This is the bonus.